Chapter 5: The Power of Thought and Vibration. The year 2020 will forever remain carved in my heart, not only because the world changed overnight, but because something inside me awakened. That year the earth fell silent. Streets that once roared with traffic now whisper with wind. Airplanes stopped slicing through the skies. Schools, churches, and offices closed their doors. Fear wrapped the world like the thick fog, and uncertainty became our daily companion. But amid that global stillness, something miraculous happened. I became a grandmother for the first time. Why the news every day shouted numbers of deaths, restrictions, and warnings. Inside our small family, there was a new cry of life. My grandchild's first breath was like a beam of sunlight piercing through the storm clouds. It reminded me that life continues, no matter what chaos surrounds it. And perhaps that is what vibration truly means, an invisible rhythm that continues even when the world appears still. The energy of fear and faith. When the pandemic began, the entire planet vibrated with fear. We could feel it even without words. Every conversation, every glance at the news carried the weight of anxiety. The energy of the world dropped so low that even nature seemed to hold her breath. People wiped down groceries, avoided eye contact in stores, and turned away from one another as though love itself could infect. In those early months, I too felt that heavy vibration. It wasn't just fear of getting sick, it was the fear of loss, of not knowing what tomorrow would bring. I remember waking up one morning, the sunlight piercing through my blinds, and thinking, is it the end of the world as we know it? And it was during the silence that I began to listen more deeply to my own thoughts. When the outside world stopped, the inner world began to speak. I realized that thoughts are not just passing clouds in our minds. They are living vibrations, invisible frequencies that connect with the energy of the universe. Each thought carries power. Each emotion sends out a signal. The law of vibration is not just spiritual poetry. It is the foundation of reality itself. We often say, you attract what you think about, but the truth is deeper. You attract what you are. You can wish for peace, but if your heart vibrates with fear, you will draw more chaos. You can pray for abundance, but if your thoughts carry the frequency of lack, you will meet more emptiness. You can ask for love, but if your energy is full of resentment, love cannot find a place to rest. It took a global shutdown for me to truly understand that my thoughts are not private, they are broadcast, and the universe, like a perfect receiver, responds not to my words but to the tone of my energy. The birth of a new generation. When my grandchild Amaya was born that year, hospitals were places of both joy and threat. Visitors weren't allowed. Masks cover every smile. Yet when I held that tiny baby for the first time, after so many tests, so many precautions, I felt something ancients awakened in me. A new generation had arrived, and with it came hope. As I looked into those pure, innocent eyes, I realized how powerful vibration truly is. A baby has no words, yet everyone who sees one smiles automatically. That's vibration. That's energy. You don't need language to feel love. You just need presence. That small joy reminded me that life communicates through energy long before words exist. In that moment, all the fear and uncertainty of 2020 faded for a while. My heart opened to something higher. The vibration of love is the most healing frequency in the universe, and I could feel it, filling the room, quieting every worry. It was as if the universe was saying, "See, even in fear, love continues to be born. Even in chaos, new life appears." That year became my teacher. While others counted losses, I began to count lessons. Shelter in place, shelter in cell. We were told to shelter in place, to stay home, to stay safe, but I found that those words had a deeper meaning, shelter in cell. For years, I had been running, chasing goals, managing responsibilities, moving through schedules, but during those long months of staying inside, I discovered how noisy my own mind was. My thoughts were constantly talking about what might happen, what could go wrong, what I miss, what I fear. And yet, when I began to quiet that noise, I found peace. I learned that thought is energy, and energy is contagious. If I sat in worry, my whole body tightened. My conversation turned negative. My days felt heavier. But if I began my mornings with gratitude, just simple thoughts like I'm healthy, my family is safe, I'm thankful for today, I noticed a change. The day itself seemed to respond. That's when I realized how much power our vibration holds. Each thought is like a drop of water. Alone it seems small, but together they create an ocean. The ocean of your thoughts becomes the climate of your life. You cannot expect a sunny life with stormy thoughts. You cannot live richly while thinking poorly of yourself. So during those months, I began to consciously change my vibration. I read uplifting books, listen to peaceful music, and pray not for the world to change, but for my energy to rise. I stopped asking, when will this end? I began asking, what is this trying to teach me? The answer always came back, faith, patience, awareness. You attract what you are. When I began shifting my vibration from fear to faith, I started noticing small miracles. The first was peace in my heart. The second was opportunities that seemed to appear from nowhere, conversations, new ideas, ways to help others, even from home. I realized that the universe never stops responding. We just stop aligning. It's like a radio. If you tune into the wrong frequency, all you hear is static. But the moment you adjust your dial, the music becomes clear. The same is true with our thoughts. When we tune our minds to gratitude, love, and clarity, life starts to flow again. People, chances, and blessings find their way to us without struggle. I saw that happen even within my family. My children, though separated by distance, become closer in heart. We call more often through video screens, laugh at small things. The vibration of love doesn't need physical presence. It travels across oceans. That's when I learned a profound truth. The world listens not to your words, but to your energy. You can tell your loved ones, I care about you, but if your energy vibrates with irritation, they will feel it. You can tell yourself, I'm successful, but if you think with doubt, success will avoid you. The real language of life is energy. The science behind vibration. Even science agrees. Everything in the universe vibrates. Every atom, every cell, every thought. Frequencies is not just a spiritual idea, it is a physical reality. When you are happy, your heart rate, your brain waves, your hormones all rise to the higher frequency. When you are fearful or angry, your vibration lowers over time. Those low vibrations can even affect health. That is why during 2020, stress and anxiety became silent epidemics. People were not only afraid of the virus, they were overwhelmed with their own thoughts. The energy of fear weakened immune systems, strained relationships, and darkened hope. But those who kept their spirits high, who prayed, laughed, and trusted, seemed to attract miracles. Their energy created resilience. They didn't deny the darkness, they simply refused to vibrate with it. I realized that vibration is the bridge between the spiritual and the physical. Your thoughts are invisible, but their effects are tangible. Just as a song can change your mood, your inner dialogue can change your destiny. The universe responds to the music you play within. A grandmother's reflection. As months pass, I spend more time than ever reflecting. Becoming a grandmother gave me a different lens of life. I saw how quickly time moves, how generations rise and fall like waves. I thought about the kind of energy I wanted to leave behind. My grandchild will not remember the words I say, but the energy I live with, the warmth in my presence, the peace in my tone, the love in my eyes. That is the vibration that lingers beyond time. In that realization, I found freedom. I no longer wanted to control life, but to harmonize with it. I no longer wanted to chase success, but to attract it through alignment. The same law that governs sound, light, and magnetism also governs our lives. You don't have to fight for what's meant for you. You just have to vibrate at its level. Healing through frequency. There is a reason why prayer, meditation, and gratitude have been practiced for centuries. They elevate vibration. During the pandemic, many tuned inward and begin to rediscover this truth. When I pray, I felt my heart expand. When I meditated, I sensed calm rippling through my body. It wasn't that the world outside changed, it was that I changed the world within me. Healing is not just a physical, it begins with invisible field of thought. If your thoughts are chaotic, your body reflects that tension. If your thoughts are peaceful, your body heals faster. This connection between mind and vibration is not mystical, It's universal. That's why love heals, why laughter strengthens, and why kindness multiplies. Each of these emotions vibrates at a higher frequency. When you live in that vibration, you naturally attract what aligns with it: people, experiences, and outcomes that resonate with your inner harmony. The lesson of stillness. When I look back at 2020 now, I see the world wasn't just locked down, it was given a pause. That pause was painful, yes. It was also sacred. It allowed humanity to slow down and listen, to realize that success without meaning is hollow, to understand that health is not just physical safety, but emotional and spiritual balance. In the quiet of that year, I began to feel the subtle rhythm of life again, the sound of birds that I had ignored, the softness of sunlight through my window, the peace of simply breathing. That was vibration too, the vibration of gratitude. Even thought of gratitude became a song. Every act of kindness a ripple. I started to understand why ancient wisdom always emphasized the heart. The heart doesn't just beat, it radiates. It sends out electromagnetic waves, measurable up to several feet beyond the body. The energy you carry truly touches others before your words even ever do. Living beyond words. The greatest revelation I received that year was simple but profound. The word listen not to your words but to your energy. You can read 1,000 books, attend countless seminars, and repeat affirmations daily, but if your vibration remains rooted in fear, you will stay stuck. Words are surface waves, vibration is the current underneath. When your thoughts vibrate with love, opportunities appear because you become the magnet for them. When you vibrate with clarity, confusion dissolves. When you vibrate with joy, people naturally gravitate toward you. So I stopped trying to convince the world with explanations. I began to live my truth quietly. I found that when I carry peace, peace found me. When I radiated gratitude, abundance surrounded me. When I focused on love, my relationships healed effortlessly. That's when I knew vibration is prayer without words. A new way of living. The power of thought and vibration became not just a concept, but a way of life. Every morning, I now check my vibration before I check my phone. I ask myself, am I aligned with love or with fear? Am I vibrating with gratitude or complaint? Because whatever frequency I choose sets the tone of the day. I also begin to watch my language carefully, not just what I say, but how I feel when I say it. The universe doesn't hear my sentences, it feels my state. When I say I'm thankful and mean it with my heart, that vibration echoes through everything I do. When I say I'm fine, but secretly feel resentment, that energy communicates louder than any words. So I've learned to become more intentional, more honest with my inner world, because thoughts are seeds. The energy they carry decides what will grow. The legacy of energy. Now, years after 2020, I see that year not as one of fear, but of awakening. It taught me that every crisis carries an invitation to rise higher in vibration. The world may continue to face challenges, but the real question remains what frequency we choose to live on. I choose love. I choose gratitude. I choose a vibration that mirrors the world I wish to see, not through words, but through being. My grandchildren will grow up in the world that still holds uncertainty. But I hope that my energy, the peace I cultivate, the love I radiate, will become part of the grandchildren's invisible inheritance. Because energy once created never dies, it transforms and it never disappears. That is the eternal power of thought and vibration. Life lessons. You attract what you are, not what you wish for. When your thoughts vibrate with love and clarity, opportunities find you. So be mindful of your inner world. Every emotion, every belief, every thought sends a signal, and the universe unfailingly echoes it back to you. If you want peace, vibrate peace. If you want love, vibrate love. If you want abundance, vibrate gratitude. The world listens not to your words but to your energy. And when your energy aligns with divine rhythm of life, you don't need to chase anything. Everything begins to find its way to you. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe and click like and tune in for the next chapter.